Come along, girls. Have you ever seen a slower girl in your life? Who are you calling slow?
Not you, stupid. Her.
Oh, hey, who are you calling stupid?
The sweetest sounds I ever hear are still inside my head. The kindest words I'll ever know are waiting to be said. The most entrancing sight of all is yet for me to see, and the dearest love in all the world is waiting somewhere for me, is waiting somewhere for me.
The sweetest sounds I'll ever hear are still inside my head. The kindest words I'll ever know are waiting to be said. The most entrancing sight of all for me to see, and the dearest love in all the world is waiting somewhere for me, is waiting somewhere for me.
I saw it first.
Did not.
Did so.
Did not. So. Not.
So much squabbling, girls. Remember, restraint above all else.
The sweetest sounds I'll ever hear are still inside my head.
The kindest words I'll ever know are waiting to be said. The most entrancing sight of all
Is yet
for me to see. And the dearest love in all the world is waiting somewhere for me, is waiting somewhere for me, waiting somewhere. What is your name?
I am called Cinderella
Cinderella. Why are you called that?
because I sit among the ashes
And why do you do that?
to warm my feet. You see, sir, I sleep in the attic, where it is always cold.
Then why do you sleep in the attic?
The other rooms are occupied by my stepmother and stepsisters.
Where does your father sleep?
In heaven.
Your Highness, shall we go on?
Yes. Goodbye, Cinderella.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball.
His Royal Highness Christopher Rupert, Windermere, Vladimir, Karl Alexander, Francois Reginald, Lancelot Herman, Gregory James is giving a ball.
He's giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball.
His Royal Highness Christopher Rupert, son of Her Majesty Queen Constantina, Charlotte Ermintrude, Guinevere, Maisie, Margaret Anne is giving a ball.
They've spread the news from far and wide.
The prince is giving a ball.
They say he wants to find a
He
bride.
may find one at the ball.
If only he'd propose to me.
Why shouldn't he propose to me? Just leave the hair and clothes to me.
The prince is giving a ball.
Surely I'll need a side of ham and lots of beef fillets, marbleized steaks, a rack of lamb and veal you'd raise to braise, Limburger cheese and gourmandise, cheddar, Gruyere and blue, chunks of Swiss in barrels, please make sure that it's holy too. Pudding and pies and rum souffle, succulent chocolate rounds, cream puffs you can chew away to gain some royal pounds.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. His Royal Highness
200 orchids, 400 poppies, 600 roses, 800 lilies,
Christopher
1,000 oranges, 2,000 plums,
Windermere, Vladimir, Karl Alexander,
raspberry, blueberry, strawberry, gooseberry,
Francois Reginald, Lancelot Herman,
son of Her Majesty, Queen upside down, cake, chocolate and cheddar, and Charlotte and Maisie, son of his caviar, King Maximilian, Godfrey, Ladislas, Leopold,
Sydney,
Frederick John is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. Come on, come on.
Cinderella, the door.
Yes, stepmother.
Cinderella, my wrap. Cinderella, my hat. Cinderella, my gloves. Cinderella, have you dusted the rafters?
Not yet, stepmother. I've been in the village with you.
The impertinence. When your father died, everyone said throw her into the street. But I have kept you here all these years, and this is the thanks I get? I've always been told I have too big a heart.
You've got too big a heart, Mother.
We'll take our tea upstairs. Come along, girls. I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
I'm tired too, Mother. You're tired.
Yes, I'm tired.
Stepmother,
What is it now?
it's about the ball. All of the eligible maidens in the kingdom are invited,
And I suppose that you think the prince is going to take one look at you and fall madly in love. Take my advice, Cinderella. Know your place and be satisfied with what you've got. I promise you'll be much happier.
if my father were alive,
Well, he's not, is he? Don't cling to the past, Cinderella. It's not very attractive.
Cinderella, hot water.
Cinderella, warm milk.
Cinderella.
Cinderella, hot water. Cinderella, warm milk. Cinderella, Cinderella, Cinderella.
I'm as mild and as meek as a mouse. When I hear a command, I obey. But I know of a spot in my house where no one can stand in my way. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. On the wing of my fancy, I can fly anywhere, and the world will open its arms to me. I'm a young Norwegian princess or a milkmaid. I'm the greatest prima donna in Milan. I'm an heiress who has always had her silk made by her own a flock of silkworms in Japan. I'm a girl men go mad for, love's a game I can play with a cool and confident kind of air. Just as long as I stay in my own little corner, all alone in my own little chair. I can be whatever I want to be. I'm a slave in Calcutta, I'm a queen in Peru, I'm a mermaid dancing upon the sea. I'm a huntress on an African safari. It's a dangerous type of sport, and yet it's fun. In the night I sally forth to seek my quarry, and I find I forgot to bring my gun. I am lost in the jungle all alone and unarmed when I meet a lioness in her lair. Then I'm glad to be back in my own little corner, all alone in
So tell me, why did you disappear again this morning after I've begged
I
you?
had a remarkable day. No one treated me like a prince. I was just a normal person.
You know what? Normal people, not all they're cracked up to be. I'm a normal person. Doesn't that tell you anything? They're all out there wishing they could be you.
Because they don't know what it's really like.
Look, you're rich, you live in a gorgeous palace, and you've got every woman in the kingdom vying for your heart. Is there something I'm not getting?
I have no life of my own. Everything is decided for me. You should know that better than anyone. Always hanging over me like a cloud everywhere I go. Everything I do.
I'm your royal steward, and I'm telling you this disappearing act has got to stop. It's too dangerous.
I was careful.
Not you, me. I can't keep lying to your mother about where you are. They have laws against that.
A fine father you are. You never worry about him.
What's wrong with him?
He isn't happy.
Of course he is.
If he's happy, why doesn't he get married?
If he's happy, why should he get married?
Darling, we were just talking about you.
Your mother was talking. I was listening.
Mother, I want this ball called off immediately.
But darling, it's impossible to cancel once you've got the ball rolling. Besides, what will we tell everyone?
Tell everyone you went behind my back, and you're very ashamed of yourselves.
Shamed.
I've never had to be ashamed of anything in my entire life, and I'm not going to start now. Look, Chris, we don't want to pressure you, but you do have certain responsibilities.
What your father is trying to say is that it's time to choose a bride and produce an heir. After all, someday soon this kingdom will be yours.
Not that soon.
All I'm asking is to find a bride for myself in my own time. I guess I have this old-fashioned idea that I want to fall in love before I get married. Like you did.
That's what we want for you too, son.
Of course it is, darling, and there's nothing saying you can't fall in love at the ball. It happens all the time.
You haven't heard a word I've said.
Family and close friends, darling, terribly intimate.
Your Majesty, Your Highness, if you please, I probably shouldn't interfere.
Probably.
But let's say the prince goes to the ball tonight.
Traitor!
I'm loving this idea so far.
And if you find the girl of your dreams, great. But if he doesn't,
Lionel, you're brilliant. Okay, I'll do it. But if I don't meet the right girl at the ball, you let me fall in love on my own time, no matter how long it takes.
But-
And with no interference.
Well, it does have a certain logic to it.
Of course, darling. That's the way you want it.
Thank you. I love you both very much.
don't worry, Your Majesties. He'll find the right girl at the ball. I can just feel it in my bones.
You'll feel it in your bones if he doesn't. Max, suppose he doesn't meet the right girl at the ball tonight. What then?
Well, then he'll just have to meet her somewhere else. Isn't that the way it always happens?
Boys and girls like you and me walk beneath the skies. They go just as we go with the same dream in their eyes. Songs and kings and many things have their day and are gone. But boys and girls like you and me, we go on and on.
They walk on every village street. They walk in lanes where branches meet, and stars send down their blessings from the blue. They go through storms of doubt and fear, and so they go from year to year, believing in each other as we do. Bravely marching forward to beneath the skies. They love just as we love, with the same dream in their eyes. Songs and kings and many things have their day and are gone. But boys and girls like you and me, we go on and on.
Tonight, my girls will be the envy of everyone at the ball.
Do you really think so, Mother? She said so, didn't she?
Why, our family has always been known for its fascinating women. I might have married a prince myself if I'd had the advantages you girls had. If I'd had someone to push me like you girls do. Someone to sacrifice everything for me. Now tell me, Grace, what will you say when you meet the prince?
Well, you said to show him there's more to me than mere beauty. So I'm going to recite a poem.
A poem?
What's wrong with that?
Whatever you do, girls, you mustn't let the prince know how clever you are. Men can't stand smart women.
Yes, Mother.
Yes, Mother. And for heaven's sake, Grace, stop scratching yourself.
I can't help it, Mother. You know how itchy I get when I'm nervous.
And what are you going to say, Joy?
Well, Mother, I've been working on my naturally infectious laughter.
Excuse me?
Tonight, I'm going to laugh infectiously at all the prince's jokes.
Whatever you do, Joy, I beg you, try not to snort.
Yes,
and
Mother.
Grace, you must try not to scratch. Remember, girls, we hide our flaws
Until after the wedding.
But shouldn't a man love you for who you are in spite of everything?
How quaint. Tell me, Cinderella, what would you say to capture the prince?
I don't know.
Of course you don't.
But whatever I'd say, we'd know in an instant that we were meant for each other. Then he'd smile and kiss my hand.
That sounds so romantic. Say it again, Cinderella.
Rubbish.
I have as much right to go to the ball as they do.
Right. You have a right. When your father died, everyone said, throw her into the street. But I have kept you here all these years, sacrificed for you at the expense of my own daughters, and this is the thanks I get?
Have you ever seen a more ungrateful child in your life? Who are you calling ungrateful? Sister, you are working my last good nerve.
Now, girls, I don't want you getting upset. Be a swan, Grace. Be a swan. Shoulders back, Joy. And try to live up to your name.
In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. On the wing of my fancy, I can fly anywhere, and the world will open its arms to me. I am in the royal palace of all places. I am chatting with the prince and king and queen. And the color on my two stepsisters' faces is a
wish I could go to the ball.
Cinderella,
Who are you?
I'm your fairy godmother.
Oh, how beautiful you are.
I made of all your most beautiful dreams and hopes and wishes.
Oh, fairy godmother, I have only one wish just now. To go to the ball. And I know it is impossible.
Impossible? Bah, what's a fairy godmother for?
To make my wish come true?
If you wish it hard enough. Now, let me see. You'll need a coach, a coachman, horses, and a groom.
Is it possible to get all those things by wishing for them?
Well, the sensible people in the world will say, Father all and fiddly-dee, fiddly-faddly-fuddle, all the wishes in the world are poppycock and twaddle.
Well, aren't they?
Not always. The sensible people in the world will also say, Father all and fiddly-dee, fiddly-faddly-foodle, all the dreamers in the world are dizzy in the noodle.
And aren't they?
Not always, especially if there's someone who loves you to help you.
Dear, dear fairy godmother, is that you?
What's a fairy godmother for? Now, to work for a coach, I believe I noticed a pumpkin in your garden. That will work very nicely.
A pumpkin?
Ah, I see you have 4 pet mice in a cage. They'll do very nicely for horses.
Mice? For horses?
I see something peering at us from underneath that shrub. It's a fine fat rat with whiskers and his brother. They'll do very nicely for the coachman and groom.
Dear fairy godmother, it all seems so impossible.
Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. Impossible for a plain country bumpkin and a prince to join in marriage. And 4 white mice will never be 4 white horses. Such folderol infidelity of courses. Impossible, for the world is full of zanies and fools who don't believe in sensible rules and won't believe what sensible people say. And because these daft and dewy-eyed dopes keep building up impossible hopes, impossible things are happening every day. Impossible. Impossible? Impossible. 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 Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. Impossible for a plain country bumpkin and a prince to join in marriage. And 4 white mice will never be turned to horses. Such folderol infidelity of courses. Impossible.
But the world is full of zanies and fools.
Impossible.
Who don't believe in sensible rules.
Impossible.
And won't believe what sensible people say. And because these daft and dewy-eyed dopes keep building up impossible hopes, impossible
Things are happening every.
Oh.
You are going to the ball.
Oh.
Well, what's the matter, dear child? Would you like more horses, another groom, a larger carriage?
No, fairy godmother. These are ever much grander than I could ever have wished for. But my clothes.
Oh, dear, of course. How thoughtless of me. There.
godmother, how beautiful.
And here are your slippers.
They're made of glass.
Now you are ready for the ball. But there's one thing you must remember. You must leave before the stroke of midnight, for the magic will last no longer.
I will remember. Dear fairy godmother, it's possible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. It's possible for a plain country bumpkin and a prince to join in marriage, and four white mice are easily turned to horses. Such folly-rolling filly of courses, quite possible. For the world is full of zanies and fools who don't believe in sensible rules and won't believe what sensible people say. And because these soft and dewy-eyed dopes keep building up impossible hopes, impossible things are happening every day. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's impossible. Things are happening
It hardly seems we were gone an entire year, fighting dragons, rescuing princesses, and finding my true love. But I've not found my true love.
That is unfortunate, Your Highness.
It's not for lack of seeking. You'll grant me that. But when she appears, I will know. I wake in the loneliness of sunrise, when the deep purple heaven turns blue, and start to pray as I pray each day, that I'll hear some word from you. I lie in the loneliness of evening, looking out on a silver-flaked sea, and ask the moon, oh, how soon will my love appear to me? Will my love appear to me?
Have you ever seen so many lovely girls?
looks like Chris is having a worse time than I am.
He'll find the one he's looking for tonight.
And if he doesn't?
It's going to be a long night. Pardon me, but I'm sure you've noticed my two beautiful daughters.
Please, madam, His Highness will dance with all the young ladies in due course.
Naturally, every mother is eager that her daughter should dance with the prince. But what I want to know is, who has the honor of dancing with you?
I don't dance.
There's no need to be coy. There's a look in your eye that says,
Please, don't touch.
let's not pretend. I can sense a certain something between us.
I wish there was something between us. A continent.
Good evening.
Hello, Your Highness.
Do you have a rash?
Oh, why do you ask that?
Because you're scratching yourself.
Ships that pass in the night and speak to each other in passing on the ocean of life.
Excuse me?
It's poetry. Ships that pass in the night. That's like you and me.
Is it?
On the ocean of life. Well, that's like, you know, water.
Hello.
How do you do, Your Highness?
Where on earth did she come from? I've never seen her before.
There is something vaguely familiar about that girl.
Who is that charming girl?
No one seems to know. She is stunning, isn't she?
Like a vision.
Forgive me, but haven't we met before?
No, Your Highness.
You're certain?
Yes, Your Highness.
Have you ever met someone and felt that you've known them forever?
Not until tonight.
10 minutes ago I saw you. I looked up when you came through the door. My head started reeling, you gave me the feeling. The room had no ceiling, a floor. 10 minutes ago I met you, and we murmured a how do you do's. I wanted to ring out the bells and fling out my arms and to sing out the news. I have found her, she's an angel with the dust of the stars in her eyes. We are dancing, we are flying, and she's taking me back to the skies. In the arms of my love I'm flying, over mountain and meadow and glen. And I like it so well that for all I can tell, I may never come down again. I may never come down to earth again.
I met you, and we murmured our how do you do's. I wanted to ring out the bells and fling out my arms and to sing out the news. I have found him with the dust of the stars in his eyes.
We are dancing, we are flying, and you're taking me back to the skies. In the arms of my love I'm flying, over mountain and meadow and glen.
And I like it so well that for all I can tell, I may never come down again.
I may never come down to earth again. May I ask you something?
Yes, Your Highness.
What brought you here tonight?
Well, it's kind of a long story. My family didn't want me to come. In fact, they don't even know I'm here.
I'm glad you are. The truth is, I almost didn't come myself.
How could a prince not show up for his own ball?
Don't you think this whole thing's a little medieval? This whole thing makes me feel like some kind of a prized bull or something.
Every eligible young maiden vying to be your devoted servant forever and ever.
Servants I've got. What I need is someone I can really talk to.
It's beautiful out here.
Yes, it is. You're not like most girls, are you?
Not like the girls you meet, I suppose.
Actually, I don't meet that many girls. I live a pretty sheltered life.
So do I.
Really? Every day, same old, same old.
Having no life of your own.
Same silly arguments.
Till you just want to run away
And never come back. I have a strange feeling that we've met before, that I've heard your voice before. Is that possible?
It's possible. Yes, everything is possible tonight.
Everything is different. Everything has changed since you came. I have never felt this way before.
Nor I.
Did you get a good look at her? Only a glance. Could you hear what they were saying? Only a word or two. She must be a princess or something. His Highness sure seemed to go for her.
Well, there's just no accounting for taste. Why would a fellow want a girl like her, a frail and fluffy beauty? Why can't a fellow ever once prefer a solid girl like me? She's a frothy little bubble with a flimsy kind of charm, and with very little trouble, I could break her little arm. Oh, why would a fellow want a girl like her, so obviously unusual? Why can't a fellow ever once prefer a usual girl like me? Her cheeks are a pretty shade of pink, but not any pinker than a rose's. Her skin may be delicate and soft, but not any softer than a dose's. Her neck is no wider than a swan. She's only as dainty as a daisy. She's only as graceful as a bird. So why is a fellow going crazy? Oh, why would a fellow want a girl like her, a girl who is merely lovely? Why can't a fellow ever once prefer a girl who's merely me? She's a frothy little bubble with a frilly sort of air, and with very little trouble, I could pull out all her hair. Oh, why would a fellow want a girl like her, a girl who's merely lovely? Why can't a fellow ever once prefer a girl who's merely me? What's the matter with a man? What's the matter with a man? What's the matter with a man?
May I ask you a question?
Of course, Your Highness.
Do you think it's possible to meet someone and know in an instant that you love her?
It's very possible.
I feel so strange, like I'm not myself. Or maybe with you, I really am myself.
What was that?
Only the clock, up there in the tower, striking 11:15.
You must go.
But you have just arrived. Or was it ages ago that you came?
It seems like a moment ago, and forever ago.
Are you really here with me in this garden? Or are you a figure of enchantment? Is this really happening? Or are we in a dream?
If it is enchantment, I hope it lasts forever. If it is a dream, I wish never to awaken.
If it is not enchantment or a dream, then why do I feel as I do? Do I love you because you're beautiful? Or are you beautiful because I love you? Am I making believe I see in you a girl too lovely to be really true? like this, and now it really has. I don't ever want this night to end.
Neither do I.
Are you a sweet invention of a lover's dream? Or are you really as wonderful as you
I can't stay.
What do you mean?
I must go. I must go at once.
Wait! Come back! I don't even know your name!
Your Majesty, what is it?
Do I want you because you're wonderful?
Or are you wonderful because I want you?
Are you the sweet invention of a lover's dream? Or are you really as wonderful as you seem?
What a night. What a magnificent affair.
Perfect. Like a dream. Come here, Mother.
Did any of you get to dance with the prince?
I only danced with him for an hour or so.
An hour?
Why, didn't you?
Of course I did,
If you did.
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if the prince chose one of my daughters for his bride.
Sounds almost too good to be true. Did you know everyone at the ball?
Everyone who's anyone, except for some princess, something or other. I didn't quite catch her name.
A princess? Did she dance with the prince?
I didn't notice.
Do you think he liked her?
What have you been doing all night?
I've been dreaming
Dreaming? Of what?
of the ball. I can imagine the whole thing. How it feels to be wearing the most beautiful dress you've ever worn in your entire life. To look like a princess. And to be at last on your way to the ball. I imagine when you're driving through the moonlight on the highway, when you're driving through the moonlight to the dance, you are breathless with the wild anticipation of adventure and excitement and romance. Then at last you see the towers of the palace silhouetted on the sky above the park, and below them is a row of lighted windows like a lovely diamond necklace in the dark.
It looks that way, the way you say.
She talks as if she knows.
I do not know suppose that when you come into the ballroom and the room itself is floating in the air, if you're suddenly confronted by His Highness, you are frozen like a statue on the stair. You're afraid to hear the way your heart is beating, and you know you mustn't make the first advance. You are seriously thinking of retreating when you seem to hear Him asking you to dance.
He is tall, straight as a lance, and his hair is dark and wavy. His eyes can melt you with a glance. He can turn a girl to gravy.
And when you waltz, He whirls you around so that your feet never touch the floor.
A lovely night, a lovely night, a finer night you know you'll never see. You meet your prince, a charming prince, as charming as a prince will ever be. The stars in a hazy heaven tremble above you while he is whispering, "Darling, I love you." You say goodbye, away you fly, but on your lips you keep a kiss. All your life you'll dream of this lovely, lovely night.
Lovely night, a lovely night, a finer night you know you'll never see. You meet your prince, a charming prince, as charming as a prince will ever be. The stars in a hazy heaven tremble above you while he is whispering, "Darling, I love you."
You say goodbye, away you fly,
But on your lips you'll keep a kiss. All your life you'll dream of this lovely night. Stop this! Worst nonsense I ever heard. Rubbish and drivel.
But Mother,
And you, listening to her, hanging on her every word.
But Mother!
Enough! Go to your rooms, it's late. And you. Why, the thought of you dancing with the prince, it's preposterous.
But why?
Because you're common, Cinderella. Your mother was common, and so are you. That a prince would even consider taking you for his bride? Why, it's laughable.
My father...
Your father was weak. He spoiled you rotten. He filled your head with silly hopes and dreams that will never come true. Never. Now, clean this place up. It's a sty.
my dream came true. Away I flew, but on my lips he left a kiss. All my life I'll dream of this lovely night.
Christopher, you've been up all night. Come, have something to eat.
I can't. I can't eat or rest until I've found her again.
Christopher, they've been searching everywhere and not a trace of her. You may never find her.
Don't say that. I will find her. I've got to.
Before last night, you didn't know a thing about her, and you don't know anything about her now.
Except that she's beautiful, and all the girls last night were equally beautiful.
I don't want to hear about anyone else, Mother. She's not like the others. She's different than any other girl I've ever met.
But how can you know that after just one night?
Are you making believe you seen her? A girl too lovely to be really true. Do you love her because she's wonderful? Or is she wonderful because you love her? Is she the sweet invention of a lover's dream? Or is she really as wonderful as she seems?
All my life, I've been searching for something, and now I've found it.
Well, then you must keep looking, Christopher, for as long as it takes.
Your Highness, I'm afraid I do not have very good news to report. No one seems to know who she is or where she's from.
Lionel, I'm going to search every part of the kingdom until I find her.
A shoe made out of glass.
We're going to try the slipper on the foot of every young woman in the kingdom until I find her. I'm going to marry her. Do you understand?
Do as he says, Lionel.
Yes, Your Majesties.
That's my slipper. I'd know that slipper anywhere. You see? It fits perfectly. Joy, honestly, anyone can see that that slipper was made for a daintier foot. What happened to it? You shrunk it. It fit perfectly at the ball.
His Highness is very weary, and I think it is obvious. Are there any other women in the household?
Why, yes. There is one more. Move over.
I meant to say younger women.
How young?
Younger than you?
My stars. It fits. It fits!
Impossible!
And it's starting to cut off my circulation. Get it off. Off. Pull it harder, you imbecile, harder!
Please, madam, there is no need for name-calling. Now, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yay! What is the matter with you people? A blind man could see that wasn't going to fit my foot.
Are you certain there's no one else here?
Please, I am begging you, take one of my daughters. Joy has charm and elocution. She's really much smarter than she looks. And grace. That girl's as strong as an ox. And cultured. Why, she can recite the wreck of Hespers in 3 languages. 4 if you count Pig Latin.
Madam, I command you to stop this foolishness this instant. Come along, Lionel.
I'm here.
What?
I'm I'm sorry, stepmother, but I am here.
A scullery maid.
A servant girl. A chimney sweep.
I have a strange feeling that we've met before, that I've heard your voice before. Is that possible?
It's possible. Yes, everything is possible.
We have spoken these words before,
Yes, Your Highness.
not only here, but in a moonlit garden.
Yes, Your Highness.
Cinderella!
Silence. The slipper. May I?